It's Monday, November 24th, 2025. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. This is the spot we'll be watching this week for the buildup of rain. There is some chatter about the possibility of a tropical storm developing in the southwestern Caribbean. So I want to show you the chances on that, which are very, very low. The American model is showing development, but the European model, the other models, not showing development out of this area. But this will be the spot we'll be watching as we go throughout the week, right through here. Now, there will be a buildup of rain. That's what we'll be watching. I'll take you out in time in this video. I want to show you the American model and the European model, but also the water temperatures and the wind shear through here. Plus, we'll move up to the north with the severe weather threat in parts of the U.S. later today. But you can see here in this spot, the American model does have an area try to develop in the Western Caribbean into a tropical storm. But remember, the American model is usually a bit too aggressive as far as developing systems. In all of the other models, and not just these, really looked at everything from overnight and this morning. The European, Canadian, the Icon German model all show no system developing. Now, if that changes, of course, I'll let you know. If you're subscribed, you'll get the notifications for new videos. But as of now, the storm chance stays very, very low. Now, this time of year, the water temperatures are still warm. We look at the environment, right? Water temperatures through the Caribbean still warm enough for a system to develop. That's why the hurricane season goes through the end of this month. With that said, this time of year, it's not just what's going on at the surface, what's going on above our heads. There's a lot of wind shear, and that is a good thing. It's very hostile above our heads, right? The wind shear, those are winds in the opposite direction of a storm trying to develop. It knocks off the thunderstorm tops of a developing storm. So as a storm builds up, the winds way above kind of knock off the tops of the developing system. And you see here, this is looking out into the weekend, the yellows in through here, some of the reds back through here. That's high wind shear. So while the water temperatures are conducive for a system to form above our heads, there's a lot of wind shear. That is a very, very good thing, and that will try to prevent a system from developing. Now, let me show you this, the American model and then the European model. We'll compare them. Here's the American model. This is the spot we're watching. In the short term, there will be some of the extra rain, Trinidad and Tobago, parts of Guyana, northeastern Venezuela. That's where we're going to see some extra rain the next couple of days as we go out in time here. This is by tomorrow afternoon. You see some of the additional rain, spotty elsewhere from Puerto Rico back through Jamaica, hit or miss as we swing back through parts of Central America. Now, as we work our way into Wednesday, you could see here, same thing, watching out for some of the showers anywhere from really St. Lucia south, St. Vincent the Grenadines, Barbados, Grenada getting some of the extra rain. But then as we go out in time, the American model starts to really build up rain. Let's get you into the weekend. So let's jump ahead here. This is Saturday. There's going to be a front sitting up here. So as a front starts to drop in, and I'll show you this with that severe weather threat in parts of the U.S. in just a second, as a front drops in, the model starts to pull in some moisture from the south, which could happen. I do expect some extra rain in here. Then by the time we get into Sunday, the American model is showing a big blob of rain sitting in the central and then even parts of the Western Caribbean. And eventually next week, the American model tries to develop this area into a tropical storm. But this is not a likely scenario, right? Because as I mentioned, yes, the water temperatures are warm. The American model is most likely seeing that a front's dropping in and a big surge of moisture may kind of move over the warm water temperatures. But with that said, I just showed you the wind shear. The wind shear is going to be high. It's not that the chance of development is zero. There's a small chance, but it's just very low. And you see it here with the European model. So here we are through the Caribbean. Here's the Gulf. You get back toward the U.S., Bahamas, Cuba, Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Belize. As we get back through Central America, just kind of jumping out in time here. I know this map's a little bit glitchy, but as we go out in time here and work our way toward the end of the week, you see here not showing a buildup of rain. Here's that front here, but as we work our way out in time, it's not showing development, at least by Friday. But just like the American model, it's showing that front that's going to be dropping down all the way into into the northern Caribbean, and it does start to build up some of that rain. You see here some of the rain building. Let's get some of this glitchiness off as we work our way into the middle of next week. It does show some additional rain in some spots, but you see here early to mid next week, the European model, like the German model and the Canadian model, not showing development. So it's a spot we will be watching together, and we have time to kind of monitor this, but just the chance of it developing into a tropical storm is low at this point. If it does develop, or I see any strange signs that it is going to become a tropical storm, of course I'll let you know with advance notice. As of now, Melissa was the last name on the list. Nestor would be the next one, and then Olga after that. But again, as of now, not seeing any signs of another named system. Now, the hurricane season goes through the end of the month, but this list is good all the way through the end of December. Sometimes in December, there's kind of a rogue system that tries to develop. Most likely not, but this list holds through the end of the year. So this is the area we'll be watching. Today, watching this, a severe weather threat. Storms have already been building up in parts of Oklahoma, parts of Texas, right through here, Louisiana, Arkansas. A tornado threat and a large hail threat. Damaging winds will be possible, even moving into parts of Missouri, watching Kentucky, over toward Tennessee, southern end of Illinois, but especially tonight, Louisiana, back through parts of Mississippi and Arkansas, a tornado and hail threat as this front starts to move its way by. Another system kind of clipping by British Columbia in the Pacific Northwest. Now, as we go out in time into Wednesday, you see this system moving off toward the east coast of the United States, Atlantic region of Canada. Some of the rain back behind it, it is going to turn colder. So as we go into Wednesday into Thursday, as this moves off, that cold shot of air moves in and sweeps all the way down into the southeast and southern United States with some cold air. By the time we get into Thanksgiving across the U.S., that surge of cold air will be moving down, and we'll see how far south that eventually gets as we work our way into the upcoming weekend. Now, as far as the seas go, a bit of a chop central and western Caribbean as we go over the next few days. The Gulf looking good. Bahamas seas are not too bad at all as we go out in time Monday into Tuesday. This is where we'll see a bit of a chop, nothing too terribly high, but it may stay overall choppy in this area because by the time we get into the weekend, we will see some extra rain here, and then eventually we'll be watching a front that will be dropping down from the north, and that will start to pick up some of those seas, at least on Thursday, across the northern Gulf back toward parts of the Atlantic, but more so as we work our way into the weekend. So by the end of the week and the weekend, the seas for a lot of us are really going to be building. Now, as far as the rain goes, the rain chance is staying generally on the low side, hit or miss. If you get a shower, you could get 10 millimeters of rain, maybe about 1/4 of an inch of rain in some spots. So not to say we can't see some spotty showers. Rain chance not too high though. Puerto Rico, U.S., British Virgin Islands, St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla. We work our way south, though. That's where it's a little higher. Guadalupe, Dominica, and then south. Trinidad and Tobago, we're going to monitor the potential of flooding over the next few days. I'll be watching your comments. I mentioned that rain chance is going to be getting higher, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, especially Trinidad and back toward northeastern sections of Venezuela and parts of Guyana. That's where that rain chance will be higher in the short term. So we'll be monitoring that chance of some flooding scattered about from the Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico south, Belize, Honduras, especially closer to the water. That's where we could see some higher totals. Mexico City to the north, not a whole lot. And this in through here, this is that severe weather threat that we'll be watching out for later today, tonight, into early tomorrow, where 2 to 4 inches of rain will be possible. But in this sector here, also some of the hail will be possible. Severe weather threat will scrape by parts of Alabama as well. So we'll be watching that sliding off later today into tomorrow. So Jamaica, our rain chance 30 to 40%. So we'll see a few spotty showers that will be possible. We could still get some brief downpours. Cayman Islands, a 20 to 30% chance, but you see Trinidad and Tobago, especially Trinidad and especially southern sections of Trinidad, rain chance is going to be higher. Tomorrow, southern sections of Trinidad could be as high as 80%, while Tobago maybe about a 30% chance. But watching out for some of the flooding that will be possible. Trinidad and Tobago the next few days. Barbados, 20 to 30% chance, isolated back through St. Lucia, isolated as we work our way through Grenada. We could see a few showers around next couple of days, same thing, St. Vincent the Grenadines, especially to the south. That's where the rain chance will be a bit higher. We work our way into Martinique. Rain chance getting a little higher. It gets higher throughout the week as we work our way from Martinique back through Dominica, even a little bump up as we work our way back toward Guadeloupe. So by Wednesday, the rain chance overall will be higher. Meanwhile, Antigua and Barbuda, just a 20% chance. St. Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat swinging back toward Anguilla and St. Bart's, passing variety. Rain chance staying on the low side. It's on the low side, St. Martin, Saba, and Statia. And you see back through Puerto Rico, mainly dry today. Tomorrow, rain chance only 20%, 10 to 20% chance U.S. and British Virgin Islands right through midweek. Bahamas, rain chance stays low. Could see a spotty shower and a 10 to 20% chance through midweek in the Turks and Caicos. Tomorrow and Wednesday, the Dominican Republic, it gets a little higher. We're looking at about a 50% chance and a 20 to 30% chance as we swing back through Haiti. But Belize, I mentioned, rain chances higher, especially closer to the water. That's where we could see some isolated areas of flooding. We'll be watching out for some increased rain as well. Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire, some of that kind of moisture coming in from the south. So a better chance of rain right across the ABC Islands, up to a 60% chance for our Tuesday. Rain chance in Guyana, especially high today, northern and central sections, and then it will go down some. Isolated as we work our way back toward Suriname through midweek. We get back through Cuba. By Wednesday, rain chance bumps up to about a 30% chance. It will build Costa Rica and Panama, again, closer to the water. Same thing as we get our way, get through Nicaragua, back through Honduras by the middle of the week. So eastern sections, a better chance of getting some of that rain. Rain chance today, 30%. Guatemala and El Salvador builds to about a 50% chance for tomorrow. And we do see a couple spotty showers possible or in and around Mexico City by the time we get into Wednesday. Same thing across the Yucatan Peninsula with some spotty showers. Northern Colombia, few areas of rain. Northern and especially northeastern Venezuela, that's where that rain chance is higher. Bermuda, rain chance today 20%, just a 10% chance for tomorrow. So we'll monitor the southwestern Caribbean as the rain looks to build. The model showing that, but that development chance remains on the low side. But you know that I'm watching that. That's what we'll be monitoring throughout the week and tracking those fronts moving across the U.S. for the severe weather potential and how strong they get and how far south some of those fronts will get. So got you covered right here. Thank you for being part of this weather community and have a good start to your week.